Hello everybody and welcome back to Adobe Live here on behance.net/live. We're happy to have you here. This is a space for you to join in, watch professional artists create live. You can ask them questions, make some friends, join the chat, get feedback on your work. It's a really fun place to be, and I hope you enjoy being here with us today. This entire week, we've been celebrating UI and UX design, specifically in Adobe XD. This is our second stream of the third day. If you missed Tuesday and Wednesday, that's all right. You can find the replays right above the player. Stick around with us. Evan will catch you up to speed. Yep. And with that, my name's Gus. I'll be your host, and I'm joined by Evan Place, who will give you a quick intro about himself. We can take a look at his work while we do that.
Yeah. So I am currently a UI UX designer and have been for the past 2.5 years. And somewhat recently joined a digital agency in Sarasota, Florida, Unfold, where I work full-time as a UI UX designer. Before all of that, I did a lot more of print-related things. So trade show banners, brochures, kind of the typical world when it comes to print, and just kind of found that I enjoyed UI UX a lot, and then tried to hone in on that and focus on that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you with us this week. And before we jump into the work, I want to let you know a little bit about some special things that you can get involved with today. We'll be doing some portfolio reviews in about an hour and a half. So if you'd like us to take a look at your portfolio, just share it with the link on the portfolio review tab right above chat on Behance. We'll be looking at 2 of them right at the end of this stream, giving some feedback, and if you don't get a review, you can share it again in the next stream. And we'll also be giving away 100 stickers to Sticker Mule. They're 3x3 custom die-cut stickers. We'll be doing that in about 30 minutes, so stick around. The way that you win is actually you just have to stay active in chat. So we're looking forward to that. And with that, Evan, let's go ahead and jump into the design and catch him up to speed.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly kind of go over day 1 and 2. So day 1, we really tried to just lay the groundworks for the app, and tried to wireframe out a variety of screens. It's a trick-or-treat app that would allow trick-or-treaters to create routes, but we are specifically just focused on the homeowner side of the app, and what that would look like, just for the sake of the timeline that we had to work with. So we wireframe those screens out. We have welcome, login, and a couple onboarding screens and a profile. And then yesterday we started working through more of the design aspect of it, and just kind of started to flesh those out a little bit more. So again, we've got the login screens, onboarding screens, and then I don't know that we quite made it to this, so I've added a few other screens and worked on it off camera. So we've got a few different screens. So the goal today is to start prototyping, and linking these screens together, and playing around with auto animate a little bit too, and have a little fun and try to get creative with it.
I think everyone's excited to see that.
Yeah.
Mohammed actually asks if we're using the latest version of XD, and we are indeed.
Yep.
You have to have the latest version if you want to use the new features like auto animate. So you'll see how Evan uses those, and if you have the newest version, you can go ahead and play with them on your own computer.
Yeah. So we will get started. And I think a fun one to start with is this home screen. So one thing I thought would be kind of fun with this screen is if we could, now we've got the advantage of auto animate, is to make this candy just kind of like continue to fall through the screen as a background element.
Cool.
So we will we'll try to do that.
Nice.
So I just want to set the transparency a little bit so it's doesn't compete quite as much with the text, but we'll start with this screen. And so with auto animate, it's basically just gonna link from one screen to the other, and it notices the difference. So the way that I have this set up is this candy pattern that I just kind of threw together, taking elements from Nucleo, which is just an icon application. Dragged them in here and just kind of laid them out randomly, but then copied that pattern and put it above it. So you can't, let me drag it off the screen so you can, so you can actually see the full.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we've got the same pattern. It's these ones, and they're just repeated here.
Cool.
And the reason we have that is we're gonna just adjust the vertical position from one screen to the other, and then it'll link the two together, and
essentially create a loop.
Yep.
Like this.
Yep. Exactly.
That's super cool. Really quickly, everyone that's saying hi, thanks for joining us, Marshall and Alberto. Looks like people are enjoying the dark UI. Ryan, awesome to see you. We've got Paco and Tim back in chat. Mario, Hector, it's great to see you back, and awesome to see you on this side of the camera. It's always good to have you in the chat. Gina's back today. She was here yesterday. Ahmad was here as well. Matthias is here. So we've got the crew.
Awesome.
Whole crew's here.
Cool. So yeah, the important part about this is making sure that the icons line up so that when it loops, it's seamless. So you want to make sure that the positions are the same. So all I did is duplicated that layer, and I'm gonna move this top one on top of it, and then I'll just delete the one that's behind it.
Looks like we have some questions.
Sure.
Somebody was wondering, who was that? Marshall was wondering if you have any tips for artboard organization.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot different once you start prototyping things, especially with some of these like auto animate features, because you're linking between screens. So as far as artboards go, like obviously naming them is super important, just to try to keep things straight. And like I said, I started with the wireframe, and then I just duplicated the artboard down and then started from there, so that the artboard names kind of match, just for the sake of reference. It makes that easier. But I don't know that I have a great method necessarily for prototyping, just because you kind of got to go with the flow a little bit, depending on what you're trying to do.
I think what's pretty cool is, and you can do this in other programs, but the performance for XD is like really strong. So for instance, your entire project is in one file right now.
Yeah.
And if Evan were to zoom out a little bit, you would see he actually has quite a few artboards in here that he's worked on since we started, even up above. So it's pretty cool that you can, you know, if you keep it all in the same file, you can keep some of the same naming conventions and navigate it a little bit easier. Also, great to see you, Shauna. Thanks for joining us. Do you know Shauna?
Hey, Shauna, I do. Yep.
Mohammed, nice to see you. Selvam, Kathy, Emma, thanks for joining the stream. If you have any questions while Evan is designing, please feel free to ask. And if you would like to get a portfolio review, please share it with us. We'd love to review it on stream here at the end of it.
Okay, and then one thing to make sure you do is, because we want this to link, we want Auto Animate to know that these two groups are the same. And because I just duplicated it to move it down, they don't have the same name. So just make sure that whatever the groups are, is that they share the same name, so that Auto Animate kind of knows how to handle that.
Do we have any animators in the chat, or people that have learned how to animate, maybe using the new Auto Animate feature in XD? Hi, Leanne. Thanks for joining us. All right, cool. So you're doing your duration now to 0.
So I've got the first one going to this screen, and I have it set to, oops. I think I just have it as 3 seconds for now, but we can adjust that if we need to. And then the other one is just going to link back at 0. But we might have to play with those a little bit to see. So
yeah,
we will see what we've got for now. So we've got it.
That's super
pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah.
So we got falling candy.
Yeah. So if you were to change that 3 seconds, it would fall quicker or slower.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Because when I had tried this off stream, I know I had it initially set to, I think I set it as 1 second. So yeah, you can play with the timing a little bit to make it faster or slower. Oops, that's not the one.
Nice.
So yep.
Super cool. It's raining candy.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully that's what happens for all the trick-or-treaters.
Right. Yep.
Get a hold of the app.
Okay, so we've got that screen done. And then we're going to start linking this create account to the next screen.
Nice. We have a lot of comments in chat saying that that's a really cool trick. So
yeah,
It's nice that you're able to share that. And something that I think is cool with the Animate feature is it's not too difficult to use. It just takes some creativity. And something like that is a really creative use of auto animate.
Yeah, it's
which
fun.
You might not think of right off the bat.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential if you're familiar enough with animation in general and just kind of know the way that auto animate like thinks or works. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things we can do. So yeah, I'm really excited about today.
Yeah, me too. Eddie, I think that would be cool to be able to export CSS or JavaScript for prototyping. I believe there are several threads about that in XD user voice forum. So if you go to uservoice.xd.com, I think it is, Tim will put a link in chat. You could actually upvote it or add a comment to those threads.
So we're just gonna make this arrow link to the previous screen rather than dragging it out. We've just got it set to tap and then previous artboard. So no matter where this ends up falling, it's always just gonna go back the way that you'd expect.
So Dax says in chat, if you put the second screen position just above the final position, then it won't stutter. That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah. So, and I think there's some playing around with that because there is maybe a slight delay just in that transition from one screen to the other. So you might have to play around a little bit with the positioning and just moving it up or down, just because it does kind of treat them as the keyframes.
Yep.
So if you've got the beginning keyframe and the last keyframe and they're the same, well then essentially you've got 2 frames for the the same period of time. So yeah, I think that's kind of what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip. And it's thinking in terms of animation, and for a lot of us it's also some experimentation.
Yeah.
Hi Munir, thanks for coming back. Good to see you in chat as always. Marshall has been considering some other programs, but the auto animate has him intrigued, so he's back for a while.
Oh, nice.
That's great to hear, Marshall. If you feel like sharing your portfolio, we would love to see it. I know I've seen you in chat before, or just to see some of your creations that you've made in XD.
Okay, so now I want to, animate just kind of what it looks like to toggle between these. So if you were to click the trigger button or the treater button, just kind of to see what that looks like. But one thing that I think would be kind of fun, rather than it just instantly changing, is if we throw a screen in between those, so that when you tap it, it kind of scales a little bit, just kind of give a little bit more of that user feedback. So we'll try to do that.
Nice.
So we'll start with this screen, and then we will have another.
We have some chatters asking about a hover effect in XD. I think there's a way to piece that together with some of the tools that exist. But I am also certain there's a thread on user voice about that as well. So that'd be a great place to place a comment or upvote it and get some feedback on when it might be implemented. I guess it's also worth mentioning that tomorrow at noon, we're going to be live with Talon Wadsworth, who's the lead designer of XD, right here, same place. If you want to come back then, he's a great person to ask about some of these features that you would like to see in XD, because he ultimately has a lot to say on how things go, and he can give you some good insight.
So we are just making, so essentially we'll have kind of 3 states here. So where it starts, the middle one where it's the larger size, and then it'll scale back down to the smaller. So that's just what we're setting up here. So we're talking about like Artboard organization before. Because Auto Animate only came out last week, obviously I don't have a lot of experience with great workflows, but one thing I think that Howard kind of mentioned seemed to make sense to me is basically just keeping your screens on different rows that are linked together. So this is one example of of those 3 different states. So that's why we've got those there. Okay.
I'm excited to see what this looks like when you get it, like the animation processed for those artboards.
100%.
Christoph, I think that's a great feature request and idea. And again, I really highly encourage you to tune into the streams with Talon. He typically streams every Friday at 12 o'clock for a show called Designing XD. And it's literally him just taking feedback and advice from our community and also just giving some insights into the program. So check that out.
Okay. And I'm only deleting these just so I don't have to restyle it. So I'll just copy it from here and paste it because I know that's not changing. So.
Munir, I have not learned UI or UX design like in a classroom setting. The only learning I've done for this type of design is actually through Adobe Live over the last year. So I would not consider myself a professional by any means, but I've actually learned quite a bit.
Let's try it at 0.2. Make sure that these are called the same.
And we'll look for you in the Designing XD stream, Christoph. That's great to hear. Also, if you're really into XD and you want to practice your skills, especially if you're new to UI and UX design, you should check out on Monday next week, we have the XD Daily Creative Challenge starting again. I can actually put a link in chat for you to join the XD Slack channel, which is a great place to find sort of a community and also to learn about the challenges.
That's really slow, so we need to adjust that timing a little bit. At 0.2, I don't think that's right. I bet this is the one that's... I'm gonna try 0 once and see what that does. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Here, let's try easing in out. Actually, let's just do ease in. And then from this one, we'll try easing out and see what that looks like.
Nice. I kind of like this process of trial and error and trying to get the right look.
Yeah. So it's still pretty slow. I'm gonna link this back to this first screen just so that we can don't have to keep closing and clicking play. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a little slow yet for what I want, but we're getting.
You're trying
closer.
to make the pop happen a little quicker.
Yeah.
Ahmad asks for some tips about shadows. The only tip that I've found so far, and Evan can speak on this more, I'm sure, but I've always heard from designers try not to go too heavy on the shadows.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on what you're using it for. It can be helpful just to kind of create that depth and that separation if you've got things on top of each other. But one thing I guess that I've learned is don't be afraid to adjust your blur level just to soften it quite a bit. And the more subtle, usually the better. So
Marshall has a good description. He says, "See them, but don't notice them."
Yeah,
I guess that's
so.
a good way to put it. Like they need to have their effect without them being a focal point. And Opka, that's awesome to hear. You're digging the new XD features. If anyone's tuning in and you haven't downloaded XD, you can actually download it and use it totally for free. You just have to download the starter version. The only limitation to that version is you can only publish one online live prototype link at a time. Other than that, you can use every feature in the app. So you should definitely try it out. A little bit snappier, what you're looking for?
Yep, I think so. So now we'll do the same thing with the tracker button.
So to do that, did you decrease the time for the transition?
Yeah, yep. So we just kind of played with this duration here and have the easing in. So this artboard eases into this one, And then I have this set to ease out to finish the transition. And all that's doing is adjusting the timing of that. And so it's hard to explain, but essentially it adjusts like how quickly the animation is done gradually. So it's not a linear, like it doesn't just shorten it, but the duration is more on a curve. So it just kind of smooths out a little bit more of those animations.
Yeah, I think if you have an animation background and you've played with in something like After Effects, which I think you're comfortable with, you might be able to vision those curves like in your head.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you haven't had experience with those programs, I think just playing with it, doing some trial and error is a good approach too. And Emma, thanks for joining us. We're happy you're here. All you have to do is download the most recent version of Adobe XD, and you can start playing with the Auto Animate feature as well.
So more separation there. Okay. So now this screen, I just duplicated this one. We can break that for now. So this is on its own. This will, so it's a little, it can get a little confusing, but so we've got these three are kind of linked together, and then this one is just going to go back to here, but we need a scale that's larger for this to scale up, so we kind of got to slide one in between those. So that's what this one will be for.
Okay. And just a heads up, we have a little less than 7 minutes until Chat and Win, so that'll be your chance to win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So if you're watching and you haven't logged in yet on behance.net/live, please do so and come say hi. We'd love to say hi to you. Christoph is asking about guides. Sometimes they don't show up. Peter always has the guides right there when he needs them. Any tips on how to get better with guides in XD? Is there a keybind I have to press?
I'm sure there is a key for guides.
I think if you hit View, you have to click on an artboard first. If you hit View, there's an option to hit Show Square Grid or Layout Grid. And I suppose those are probably what you're speaking about.
Is there a ruler too, maybe?
I think if you hover over an object and you hold Control, it shows you distance.
Yeah, that one's definitely. I don't know if there's is there something that shows like a ruler up here on the top and on the side? I don't know if there is.
I don't believe so. I think this is something that Matthias in chat has been asking Talon for the last 4 months. I think he mailed him a ruler in the mail. I think like what they've created, like with the grids and the layout grid, and also some of the features by doing the hover, is trying to like have more intuitive, clever ways to not necessarily need the ruler, but I think there are some designers that rely on that. So.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
If you want a ruler, tell Talon tomorrow. He loves hearing about it.
So before I had linked this up just to go to that previous screen, just for the sake of like not having to close out of that. But I'm gonna move it so that it goes to this one. And we want it to auto animate again. And I want to make sure that this and this have the same name.
Daniel, the icons are from Nucleo app. It's
Yep.
an app that you can purchase. They have a website. There's also some free app or icon resources that we were talking about yesterday. One of them was Font Pick, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Tim says, "Oh no, Gus, what have you done?" You can tell Talon I sent you, but make sure you're very nice to him, because Talon is an amazing guy.
He is. Yeah, we got to talk to him a little bit yesterday. He's super, super cool.
Talon wanted to pick Evan and Peter and Michael's brain on how they're using XD and how they can improve the tool.
Yeah, I always think that's super cool when like the people that are actually working on the app like sit down and like listen to the designers and like not only listen to you but like sort us out and trying to get our feedback. It's super, super cool.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think it's really nice to see, and I think the efforts both on User Voice and on Talon's stream on Friday and our XD streams every week are just an opportunity for the community to just engage with the program and help us build it. Like, help us build the tool that's best for everyone. Saying I'm gonna mysteriously disappear now. No, it's good. I think that Talon will appreciate the feedback.
Yes, we want to ease in.
They've got jokes.
Oh yeah.
Jokes in chat. But that's good. They're chatting, which means they're eligible to win stickers. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want to give away stickers.
Yeah. 3
We've
minutes.
got thousands of stickers just sitting in a room. And every time someone wins, we just shovel them into a bag. And then Paul Tranny delivers them personally to your door. Does backflips the whole way.
Yep. That's funny.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about your design.
Yeah, so I'm just adjusting the timing a little bit here, so we will see how we're doing. So we knew that one was okay, and now we've got that one. So now we kind of got that to go back and forth.
Nice. That's great.
Make sure that oh, that's not what we want. So I had this set to previous, but that's probably not gonna work because obviously this previous is just gonna go to one of these artboards. So we will actually link it to the screen. And let's make that a transition. And I wonder, can I just copy that and it'll still link to the same? It does.
Ooh, nice.
So I don't have to reset that up.
Sweet.
Well, that works good.
I'm curious too, because you're building out the Tricker side of the app. Will they have to have the Tricker selected in order to hit like the next button, the confirm button?
So I don't know if I understand your question exactly.
Just, you know, like in terms of if you're playing with the prototype.
Oh.
If you select Treater, there's not going to be a Treater experience to like go to.
Right. Yeah. So on that one, I just don't have enter link to anything.
Nice.
So that if we were to build out that side eventually, we could add it in, but for now it doesn't. And one thing we could do if we don't have that is we could just change this button color to look like it is. Oh, it's still part of the. It's linked to the symbol.
Oh, gotcha.
On a ungroup symbol, I think that will work.
I know, Emma. I don't know. If you don't love stickers, I'm not sure. Stickers are amazing, and if you haven't like held and played with the Sticker Mule stickers, they're pretty quality.
They are top notch.
Very good stickers. Can confirm. Too many jokes. And yeah, XD dark theme again. Hit up User Voice, hit up Talon tomorrow in Designing XD. If you want something like Dark UI or hover states, he's the guy to talk to.
Okay, so let's look at what we've got. We've got the Sweet Falling Candy. Click Create Account. It goes here. You can choose which one you want. It's got the little feedback. We grayed out the button, so we know that's not an option. We can always change that if we built that side out, or you can go back. So you kind of got those two options there, and you can just go back to this main screen if you don't want to do it. So we're making some good progress.
That looks great. All right, now's a good time to take a little
nice.
A respite and
time.
Watch the fireworks. Take in the sights.
Fun. Oh yeah.
We're gonna play a quick video here in just a second, but before we do, we'd like you to answer a question in chat. The way that you win the stickers is you have to log in and chat on behance.net/live sometime between now and the next 30 seconds to a minute. So go ahead, log in, get it going, and answer the question, which is...
What should we do? Just keep it on the Halloween theme?
Yeah, let's go Halloween theme.
Let's do...
I was thinking what Halloween monster are you most afraid of?
Yeah, I like that one. Let's do that. Yeah.
All right, let us know what the scariest Halloween monster is to you. For me, it's clowns. We'll be right back. We have lots of clowns. Clowns, children. Halloween is not a good time for you, Shauna.
That would make Halloween hard.
Demon clown, yeah.
Zombies.
Vampire.
Zombies. I feel like zombies is it's got to be like a love-hate.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves zombies. I feel like.
I think people love the zombies that you see in like Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh yeah,
like the cutesy ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, Walking Dead.
I was gonna say then there's the Walking Dead zombies. Yeah. Yeah, those do get a little
creepy zombies. I don't know though. I agree. I think some people just love zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, we have dolls. Dolls
are creepy, especially those ones with like the ceramic eyes or
the ones that move.
Yeah.
Oh, Ahmad, we have our winner. Oh wait, you should read it. You should read the winning name.
I should. Ahmad Balf. I don't know how you say it. I need a phonetic.
Ahmad,
spelling.
could you let us know how to pronounce your last name? It's here, right above us. But yeah, I don't even want to take a stab at it. But Ahmad's been here all week, and I know he's been trying every single time. So we're really happy that you won the stickers. Congratulations.
Congrats, Ahmad.
If you didn't win the stickers, you can also claim 10 free stickers from Sticker Mule. All you have to do is go to stickermule.com/Adobe Live. Right there. So check it out, claim some stickers, and we'll give away some more stickers in the next stream.
Cool stuff. Have you ever ordered custom stickers?
I have not. No. I don't think I have any illustrations that I'm like, I need a sticker for this. But maybe one day I will. Have you?
I have some. So the only time I've ordered stickers is every time we go to Creative South. If you go to Creative South, I don't know that I feel like a lot of people just kind of know, like everyone hands out stickers. Like it's kind of like, like they don't do business cards,
Nice.
You hand out stickers.
Nice.
So that's always kind of fun to see what everyone does. So
I always appreciate the sticker business card.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Especially nowadays, it's like if you have your Instagram handle and like a couple other, for you it's Evan Place everywhere, right?
Yep.
So if you just have like /Evan Place, people can find your work.
Yeah.
And they have a sticker.
Yep, definitely.
It's pretty cool. And speaking of which, if you haven't yet, please go support Evan and follow him on all of his social channels. You can find him on Instagram, on Dribble, where are we at?
Twitter.
It's all /Evan Place. Very easy to find. Tim has some links. He can share them in chat along with Sam.
Okay, next, let's work on the actual fields here. And so one thing that we were going to try to do is, so we've got several fields here rather than just listing them all on one screen.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of broke them apart into two sections with breadcrumbs here. So we will make a drag option that allows you to swipe over from these fields to the next ones.
Cool. And Ryan, I don't believe Evan has a Behance, but we're convincing him to create one.
Yeah, it's just it's hard to find time to post your own stuff, which is a bad example. Please post your stuff. But yeah, it definitely needs to happen.
Yeah, he'll get there. Don't worry. I've been the bug in his ear all week.
Oh yeah.
Jeff says you're gonna wear out your mouse, clicking and unclicking.
It hasn't yet.
His mouse is built for clicking.
It is. That's what it was designed to do. Do I click more than most people? I guess I haven't noticed.
It's funny though. I think a lot of people use their trackpad. I've seen, and I think that's pretty difficult. Right?
I don't hardly ever use the trackpad.
Yeah.
Just because I can't get nearly as fine control.
I think what's interesting though, well, I don't know, how do you zoom in and zoom out without a trackpad? What's your...
Well, one, if you hold Z, you can click and drag.
Nice.
Otherwise, if you hold Command and use... So I don't have the magic mouse. So if you hold Command, you can scroll in and out.
Nice.
It just makes it really easy.
Yeah, that's super easy. I just know on the trackpad you can kind of like pinch or like...
Yeah, sure.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. So the easiest way to do this is we need these guys.
This mouse was made for clicking. Shauna, that's fantastic. You're so clever. And Munir, yep, he does. He'll get to it.
I do, yeah. I was hoping to be able to add some before this, but I was so focused on trying to get this app figured out for you guys that I ran out of time.
We need a trick or treat app. The deadline is Halloween, so.
Yeah, we're quickly approaching.
Yeah, he's working overtime. All right, feel free to explain for us what you're doing now.
So I am, to make this draggable, I've got these guys grouped in the same group, so they're both in this artboard. So we'll duplicate that to this other side, which I already have, and then so all we're doing is changing the position.
Nice.
So when you set up the auto animate, you can set that drag, and so then it knows the two positions that you have, and you're able to drag between those.
Awesome. So you're just giving XD context.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Exactly.
It says, okay, I know where it needs to go.
Yep.
And it says hashtag team trackpad. I'm with you. I'm team trackpad also.
I've never found that I am nearly as efficient with the trackpad.
I think you got to do what works for you. I feel like everyone has their process and the tools that they like. If they work for you, you need to use them.
I should say the only time I have used the trackpad is like when you're on an airplane and trying to design. There's some airplanes that you're like
it's the worst.
Yeah, it's like you can't.
Yeah.
Like there's no room.
You have T-Rex arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, you don't want to bother your row mates. Yeah, that's tough. Roxanne is team mouse. Let us know in chat. Do you use trackpad, a mouse, a tablet, both, all three? We'd love to hear it.
Okay, and I want this to be drag.
Oh, Alberto's. I believe that's Spanish. Raton Mágico. Big magic mouse. I don't know. Maybe it's French. I don't know. Spanish? I'm clearly not very cultured.
Yeah, I am not. Yeah, I wish I knew more than just English.
Yep, same.
So we've got that tied together, and so we are able to click and drag. Awesome. But now we need to adjust these little guys because they are not changing. Oops.
Does that need to be its own interaction?
So because this is
right?
Yeah, so it's linking from screen to screen. So if we just change, if we just change what these are actually set to, I gotta be in design. That's why.
A lot of mouse users in chat. A lot of mice.
Nice.
We have someone using.
Represent.
Jonathan uses tablet. Some trackpad and mouse. And Pablo's asking for my YouTube channel. We shared Howard's YouTube channel earlier. He makes a lot of awesome tutorials and videos for UI and UX design and all sorts of other types of design. My YouTube channel focuses on only fishing videos. So if you like watching fishing, feel free to check it out. You can just search for Tackle Boys, and I'm sure Matthias has a link for it. You can come give me a follow and check out the videos.
So one thing I thought was kind of fun while I was doing this before is to create this breadcrumb on the other screen. I had just copied it and rotated it, which works, but then Auto Animate sees that as it rotates, which actually can be kind of fun.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
quite function.
Right?
Yeah. So it's just kind of something to pay attention to, like what properties you change from artboard to artboard obviously can have an effect. So instead of rotating, we'll just change it to 0, and then I just change the color or the opacity of each one. So
nice. Thanks for sharing the link, Matthias. Alberto says Paco Boys. That's just like the cool. It's like the cool club that DJ Pac-Man has. And I guess the only member is DJ Pac-Man.
Okay, so we've got that figured out. We've got the scrollable area and the breadcrumbs change.
Oh, that's awesome.
One thing I did want to do is I thought we could have a little fun with this house that we've got up here. Right now it's just an instant change. And actually I don't even think I have these linked to the previous screens, but this is the screen we want to link to this one.
Nice.
Just on a transition, on a tap. Okay, so going from this screen now to this one, I'll try to keep these grouped together. I thought it'd be fun to just kind of pull this icon out of the button and show it at the top. So we'll kind of create an animation based on that, and it should
I love that idea.
Should be pretty easy with Auto Animate. Just change it to that, and then make sure that that they are called the same thing, and they are, and we will see if it works. And it didn't. Why didn't it?
Maybe we need to connect the house icon.
Actually, I bet I know why. Because it is inside a group.
Oh.
So we've got to bring it outside of that group to do so.
Matthias, I'm glad I'm saying your name right. I had to use Google pronunciation to help me, courtesy of you. We have Kathleen back in chat. Thanks for being here and supporting us all week. And Nikhil is wondering what version to use with a MacBook Pro 2011. You can check out on Adobe XD Help X. You can see system requirements and specifications. Just make sure whatever your operating system is, it's compatible with the most recent version of XD. But I believe you should be able to run it on your system.
Yeah, so now we've got, oh, I gotta link that screen, but so now we've got the little animation from the home, and it moves to the top,
that's sick.
and then there's your, now they know that they're on this field. So it's pretty fun.
It. That's awesome. Can we do that house animation one more time? I just want to watch that.
Yeah, but I gotta link this back button quick
nice.
To the screen.
Ahmad Balfak. That's what I would say. Balfik. I still don't know exactly how to pronounce your last name, because you might have told us in chat, but I missed it. But I'm trying my best here.
Okay, great. We can switch between them. We enter, the home goes there.
Nice. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. The other one fun thing that maybe you can't always tell is this actually, like, if you let go, it snaps to its final position. So it's pretty cool that it has that.
You might be able to adjust that too. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I saw in the drag options, like, there's a snap to maybe.
Oh, cool. Let's look. So that'd be cool.
It could be crazy.
No. I don't see any.
Never mind. I'm crazy.
You are crazy.
Yep.
No, you're not crazy. You can adjust the easing. I wonder what that. Let's just see. I'm curious what bounce would look like. That'd be weird. I don't know what that does.
Thanks, Ahmad. I appreciate the constructive feedback.
I don't know if that really adjusts much. I don't know if the easing has much of an effect on a draggable area.
Yeah, I feel like, I can't picture what it would change.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I like it how it is though, so we're good. Okay. Now let's just kind of keep moving here. We can do the onboarding screens.
Kevin, I think I lied about adjusting the snap. I apologize. I think I'm seeing things. And Aaron, to get the falling candy effect, it's actually a lot easier than you think it would be.
Yeah, I can show that again quick.
Cool.
So all it takes is 2 screens. And so I've got this pattern here. And I just threw it together. Let me adjust the color. so you can actually see it. Oops.
Nice.
Okay, so all it is
the same pattern.
the same. Yeah, it's the exact same pattern. So the first artboard looks like this. The second one is the same. It's just slid down, and so basically it's just that this position is the exact same as this or close to it. And so it just knows to animate the position, the height, or its position, its Y location, I guess. So it just slides it down to this location, and then the second screen is just set to go back to the first screen right away.
Right, and since they're in the same position, it looks like a loop.
Yep.
So it's really not too tough, and this is one of those examples for Auto Animate where the tool itself is pretty easy to use, but you have to get a little creative to get the effect that you're looking for. And you can do some very cool things with it. And Kevin, I'm sorry I let you down with your high expectations. Next time I see you, I'll give you a big hug. Make up for it.
Okay. So now we've got this. We're going to kind of do the same type of thing. It gets slightly more complicated because we have 3 cards here. Here. Oops, let's just copy one here at a time.
While you're working on that, I just want to give a quick reminder that we'll have portfolio reviews in about 41 minutes. So if you'd like to get your portfolio reviewed, all you have to do is share it with us on behance.net/live. There's a tab right above the chat that says portfolio review. You'll click on it, share it with us, and then we'll review 2 at the end of the segment today. And just to catch anyone up to speed that just joined, Evan is designing a trick-or-treat app inspired by Waze. On day 1, he worked on wireframes. On day 2, he did some more high-fidelity designs and screen designs, and today he's actually prototyping and animating the interactions.
Yep. Okay, so all we did is we've got the 3 different cards here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to group them together so that it knows to hide these on the artboard. So they're still there, you just can't see them, and so then on the subsequent screens, we'll just adjust their position again, and then do that drag auto animate, and we should be in good shape. And I want to just try to pay attention to the positioning so that when it does stop, that they always end up in the same location. So I know it's 48 pixels, so I'm just going to adjust this whole thing. Should be centered, I believe. And yeah, we're good. So that's the second one.
Nice. And that's another one of those benefits of using the 8-point grid that he's been using all along.
Yeah.
That 48 falls right into the system.
Yep. So 6 more. Should be good. Okay. So now we'll go to prototype. I'm gonna prototype this to this screen, and if this gets to, like, if it gets in your way, just spread these. You can just spread these out a lot more.
Nice.
So then it doesn't make it quite as confusing. So this should go to this one, and it will be a drag. Okay, I think we should be fine there. Let's make sure the layer names are the same. Let's actually name it something. We'll just say cards.
Nice. I like cards.
Yeah.
Especially
simple.
Pokemon cards.
Oh, Pokemon cards.
Yep.
Was that
fan.
is that your jam growing up?
It was. It was. Did they get banned in your school when you were younger?
I don't know if they got. I can't remember. They may have at one point.
I remember they got banned in our school. Like, kids were, feuding over cards and like stealing them and trading them at lunch and doing crazy stuff. And the teachers were like, enough's enough. Like, this is why we can't have nice things. And then they just took everyone's Pokemon cards and said, you can't do it anymore.
Nice. Okay, did you actually ever play the actual game with the Pokemon cards?
I did.
Because I feel like I don't know hardly anyone that actually played the game. They just had the cards.
Yeah.
At least that was the way I was.
I played it. Nobody played it. I think the way that kids like to play it is they would just Like you'd throw down a card and then whoever had Charizard would be like, Charizard, I win. And it was like, whoa, you don't have enough fire energy to use Fire Spin right now, so.
That doesn't work. No, it's
So,
Charizard.
Take a step back. And actually Pikachu wins. Anyways.
It seemed like you lost some battles that way.
No, well, they just didn't know the rules.
That's funny. Okay, let's try it and see how we did.
That looks great. Then we gotta do the breadcrumbs again.
Oh, hey. Oh,
Does it go
didn't.
all the way?
it did.
Oh, something that's interesting I think about the drag feature is going
It actually worked though.
the other way. Sometimes you have to drag the opposite direction. Does that happen to you just now? Or no? Like if you wanted to go back to the first screen from here.
Oh, I didn't know. So when I did it before, I assumed that it would only go the direction, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, this one's only going to go this way because obviously there's nothing there, but this one will only go this way because I have it linked to that one,
Yeah.
and you can't link it to both at this time. So, but I didn't know that. Oh no, I guess that makes sense.
Pikachu all the way. Stay in your lane, Charizard. 100% banned in my school. Yeah.
Nice.
Squirtle's pretty cool. I'm a big Squirtle, War Turtle, Blastoise fan. I'm into that.
So did you play the Game Boy game?
Yeah.
And is that what you always
The
pick too?
cards.
Squirtle?
No. Actually, I usually pick Charmander.
Sure.
Because I felt like getting a really good fire Pokemon was kind of tough, but there were some good water Pokemon that you could have in your 6-man lineup that could potentially replace a Blastoise.
You're very strategic.
Yep. But actually, I think the safest pick was probably Bulbasaur, because it's even harder to have a high-quality plant-type Pokemon, at least in the original ones.
I don't know if I was smart enough to know all that. I just picked whichever one I thought was coolest.
Well, I think that's what you're supposed to do. I've just always been into gaming the system. I was trying to figure out, like, I'm the type of person that saves all of my skill points in a video game until, like, the very last moment when I know the most efficient way to allocate them. And I'll, like, play underpowered for a long time before I know.
Nice. Got that sense of pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, make a decision before I know all of the repercussions. Okay, Matthias says make 2 invisible boxes that share the boxes.
So yeah, I think I won't make them invisible just for the sake of this, but essentially you would kind of split this in half, and we'll, for the sake of this, just change the color of one. And I don't like that. Still not better, but whatever. Okay, so you would have the 2 options. You just make them, boy, that didn't work. Make them invisible, but then that way you can prototype from whichever one you would want.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you could essentially make this one go to the previous, and this one go to the next.
Nice.
And you could do that in each one. So I think that's what he's getting at.
Yeah, it seems like it. Thanks for the quick demo.
Yep.
I do not want to talk about how I sold Diablo items on the black market. I got really into Diablo.
Wasn't there? Oh
yeah.
I was trying to think. What is the other? So there's Pokemon, and then what was the other one that was really big? That was really Digimon.
Digimon?
Yeah, I think maybe that's what I was thinking of.
I love Digimon also. I also played that card game.
Nice.
It was fun.
I did not have any Digimon cards.
It's okay. Digimon was like, it was the unpopular version of Pokemon, but it actually was like a little bit more advanced as a card game. So it was fun. Yu-Gi-Oh was also pretty great.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. Everyone knows that card. Yeah, Madison's talking about the type advantage from the Pokemon starter Pokemon. It's true. But even though Charmander had a type disadvantage in the first 2 gyms, you could catch Pokemon that kind of made up for it quickly. The normal type Pokemon, you know, Pidgey and Rattata. But and Kevin, no, I never got Pokemon cards while trick-or-treating, but I think that would have made my year.
Yeah. Wow.
That's like for the fancy houses only, though.
Yeah,
because that's
so.
like
maybe that should we could add that.
Yeah,
we probably should add that as one of these, just like Pokemon cards.
Giving out limited edition Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just run through this again.
Real quick in chat, let us know what your favorite Pokemon is, or Digimon, or Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, we'll open it up to all the nerdy card games.
All nerds unite.
Yep. Oh my gosh, Jeff, that's amazing. Do you still have the display boxes of all the cards? Because those are probably some serious collector items.
Should I know what Wizards of the Coast is?
Not necessarily,
okay.
But they're the company behind like most card games. You know, I think Wizards of the Coast are behind like Magic Gathering card games.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't know. Let us know, Jeff, what the other ones are. They also make a board game, I think, called Haunted House on the Hill or something to that effect. And it's kind of like a watered down version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Like you kind of go on a mini campaign, and the board kind of builds itself as you go. So it's kind of fun.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got those screens. We've got those, and those. Now we will get to this one. Oops. I just want to copy it for now.
We've got Haunted House on the Hill fans in the chat. Kevin and Kathleen.
I don't know if I know enough games to know what that is.
Do you play any board games, or do you like them?
Yeah, we do. It seems like my family, like we play Balderdash quite a bit.
Nice.
It's more of those types of things, I guess.
Yeah, my family was like that too. That like Pictionary.
Yeah.
Or I'm having a major brain fart right now. What was the one where you like had to act out the
charades?
Yeah, charades. See, sometimes my brain just doesn't work.
But you had to act it out to.
That's pretty ironic.
Yeah. These, cool, I want all of these to go to this screen because they can skip. They don't have to read all these, so we'll have to link all of these to this one.
I do think that background picture you selected yesterday worked out pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so too, with the bat up there. Yeah. So it goes to that one. And then I want this to go here on a time, because I'm going to have this little notification kind of pop up after you get here. So it'll load the screen, and then this will kind of pop up. So we'll see what we got to do to make that happen.
Nice. I think that's also a neat idea for like if you were to prototype like a web page and you wanted to have like a chat pop up or something.
Sure.
You know, it's like, hey, how can I help you? Some websites have that. That could be a cool way to do the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So this is going to be time. Maybe we'll just do a slight delay. I don't know how much. We'll have to adjust that. And then let's try this.
Now they're talking Candyland and Chutes and Ladders.
Oh yeah. Those? Yeah, classics. I don't even know if I remember what the difference was between those two.
I think the board itself was really different, but the game was probably pretty similar. I think it had similar ideas. Chutes and Ladders was infuriating though, because I remember there was like one space right near the top where if you landed wrong, you hit a chute like right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
and then you just
we actually
everyone
played that.
just has a field day making fun of you.
Yeah, we actually played that with my kids quite a bit. They like that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just thinking out loud here. So I want to have this screen. If you hit got it, it's going to load the map. And then I want this to pop up. But I'm thinking it might be kind of fun. We'll see if we can do it. Is like even just this little X, like I think I want that to come in just after that. So like this will pop in and then that will pop in. I just think it might be fun to try to do. So we'll see. It'll take a few more screens, but we'll we'll see what the best way is. So I am thinking, let's name this.
Howdy, Kyle. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you here. Right now, Evan's designing and prototyping the animations and some of the interactions for an app he's been creating over the last 2 days and today, which is a trick-or-treating app inspired by Waze. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And Matthias, I am not a cheater in video games. That is one hard and fast rule I will never, ever break. If I were to ever win because I was cheating, I would count it as a loss.
So I don't know if my brother is listening or not, but so we would play Monopoly a lot, and I didn't consider it to be cheating. But
if
he
you're
did.
the banker and you just take extra money.
No. So I would take a portion of my money and put it under the board.
Oh.
So it's like my savings.
Yeah.
But he didn't, like, he looks like he's got me beat, and I'm like, oh no, I got some more money under the board. Apparently he thought that was cheating.
That's not cheating.
I didn't think so.
No.
Thank you.
That's just holding your cards
Right?
close to your chest.
Yeah.
Because I think people make decisions based off of transparency.
Exactly.
on the
Yeah.
board.
I don't want them to know how much money I have. Like, that
It's the
shouldn't
same
matter.
thing as stacking your cards really neatly, so you can't really tell how many you have rather than fanning them out.
Oh.
Because then people are like, oh, do they have 4? Do they
Oh
have
yeah,
6?
yeah.
I don't
Right.
know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's not cheating.
No, I wouldn't think so. Well, good to know.
Well, his name's Derek, right?
Yeah.
Derek, if you're in chat,
Oh.
I don't think it's cheating.
Offshore accounts are cheating. Yeah. I don't think
Not cheating.
so. See? I told you.
Let
I
us
wasn't
know what
cheating.
you think. Is that cheating?
The only thing too is like I'm pretty sure he'd beat me every time, and then when I'm out of money, he would just loan me money back. So like the game never ended. Like we would just.
He's a loan shark too.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Collecting
he just like
interest.
beating me over and over and over.
Is he an older brother?
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I know how that is. I have an older brother.
Yeah. Let's see.
Kevin, I think that's a really funny idea, and we were talking about this on day one, that there probably will be houses that give out like full candy bars, or ones that have like haunted houses, and there might be a way to like give them like an achievement or like an award for being all-stars. So I think that'd be cool. Something we talked about was having like a zombie arm punch out of the ground and like hit a star, and then like it turns
That would be fun.
turns yellow, and it's like achievement unlocked.
I gotta ask, how do you say that?
Reese's. Is how I say it.
Reese's?
Yeah.
It's Reese's.
Reese's.
It's Reese's, isn't it?
It probably is.
Because
but
they're his.
I say Reese's.
I don't know what the right way is, but I always called it Reese's.
All right, let us know in
Yeah.
chat.
Reese's or Reese's.
The debate is on. Oh, what do you call that fizzy, sugary stuff that's in a can? It's carbonated.
Yeah, carbonation.
I mean, what do you call that type of drink?
Oh, we're going.
Yeah, what do you call it?
Pop.
Me too.
Oh, nice.
Pop guys.
All right.
Hashtag pop guys. Any other pop kids in chat? Or you call it soda or Coke?
I always thought Coke was weird because, like, what do you want? A Coke? Well, what kind?
Oh,
Well, Coke.
The clear kind.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, what? I never understood that one.
Got a lot of pop. We got a lot of pop in chat.
Nice.
Hector thought that was funny. Carbonation? Reese's. Reese's Pieces. See?
No. Yeah, see, it's not Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, because they're his pieces.
I don't know. Reese's. I'm not sold yet. Pop, duh, says Jared. Jordan says pop or soda, depending on the mood. Or like maybe your location. Like you don't want to stand out in the crowd and you're somewhere that isn't in the Midwest. You could just say soda. But then you'd be, you know, denying your heritage, which is not what you want to do. Kevin's confused now. It's one of those things where if you say it too many times, it doesn't sound like a word anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Try not to say it too many times. And Muhammad, if you're confused, that's totally okay. We're kind of off topic right now, but Evan's designing an app in Adobe XD right now, and he's actually adding the animations and some of the interactions so that we'll have a live prototype by the end of the stream.
Let's see. That's what I gotta do. I was not auto-animating.
Did you make the transparency all the way down? Oh.
Yeah, so it can kind of
so
pop
cool.
up.
Nice.
But I want it to go a little bit quicker.
Ahmad, thanks for being with us. Sleep well. It's probably late for you, so thanks for tuning in all 3 days, and congratulations again on winning the stickers.
Okay, so I've got it so that it'll show up. But one thing that I always like try to think about is, so I've done quite a bit of animation, so there's a lot of principles of animation to kind of help bring a little bit more life to them. And one thing is just like, some will call it an overshoot or an exaggeration, but essentially, rather than just bringing it straight to the size, like you'll overshoot it so you'll get a little too big and then back smaller.
Oh, cool.
Which is essentially the same thing as we did for these, but it just helps it feel like it's got a little bit more life than just I don't know, it doesn't feel so robotic.
Yeah, I think that's kind of more natural physics, right? Like if you drop a ball, it's going to bounce a little bit.
Exactly.
And Emma, that's a good question. Could you explain a little bit on how animations happen right when you open the page? If you're referring to like, if you just, or maybe you could.
Yeah. So I'm guessing what she's talking about is this one. If I just click play, it just does it right away. That is because I have this artboard set to a time duration, so it just delays by half a second. So they won't all animate right away. So like if I start on one of these, nothing's gonna happen until you interact with it. But if you click got it, then it's just that half-second delay, and then that pops up. Awesome. So it's all based on what you set those parameters to.
And Matthias has the tips in chat too. Thank you for sharing that. Kathleen says, "Got to get that easy ease." That's in After Effects, right? Isn't that something you can turn on in After Effects?
Yeah, so there's a lot of easing, like that's a big part of After Effects and getting your motion to kind of feel the way that you want it and give a lot of personality to it. A lot of that's in the speed graph and just adjusting some of that timing. Okay,
Just a quick reminder, we have 20 minutes to share portfolios with us. We'll be selecting them here in about 20 minutes, and then we'll review them on stream. If yours is not selected, please share it again in the next stream. And Howard will be back with Michael, and the two of them will review 2 more.
So now we've got it so that it bounces a little bit.
Nice, I like that.
It's still a little quick for me. Actually, I think it just scales too much. So let's make it a little bit smaller. Hopefully we're still bigger than, nope.
And you're just looking at the sizes
Yeah,
in the
I'm
top
just,
right?
Yep, exactly, yep. So this is 358 and 350, oh, well, I don't even know if we'll notice that, but we'll, yeah, that doesn't look good. Let's just undo. And I could just adjust it here. The only thing then is that it's adjusting everything from this left. It always adjusts everything from the left and top. So So if I adjust it there, it's all gonna be off-centered. So all I'm doing is holding Option and Shift, and when you drag it, then it
stays centered.
Yeah, it pulls everything out proportionately from the center.
Nice. That's Option Shift. Something we talked about on day one was using shortcuts within the app. Figuring out what your workflow is and then figuring out the quickest way to do them can sometimes, over the duration of a project, save you hours of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a little quick. So let's try to make this a little longer.
Good. Polash, thanks for sharing your portfolio with us. We will look for portfolios that have some UI and UX designs in them because that's Evan's expertise and we want to make sure that he can speak to that effect on our stream. But if you focus on a different area, we do portfolio reviews every week. So if you come back and maybe you do graphic design or you do illustration or videography, anything, and that's what the focus of the week is, then you'll have a higher chance of getting a portfolio review because we're looking for portfolios that focus on those fields.
There we go. That feels a little bit better. So just...
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, that works good. Like I said, I was going to try and make this X afterwards. Trying to think the best way to do that.
Like the X isn't there right away?
Yeah, I was just gonna, so basically the same animation for the X, but delay it a little bit.
The first one, could you make that X, like the transparency lower? And then we'll kind of, I don't know if that's...
Yeah, that could, actually, let's try that. That might work. That might be interesting.
Kind of feels like too much, maybe, but...
Yeah, something... It disappears and then reappears.
Yeah.
So let's ignore it for now, because we can always come back to that if we've got time. So let's kind of keep moving here for now. Now we want this screen again. And
we're glad you're enjoying the show, Polash. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, awesome.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you're designing along, good luck. Hopefully this is inspiring you to get a little bit more creative and try something new. Especially if you want to download XD, it's totally free.
Okay, cool. So let's just start again here really quickly. So we can swipe through, click next, go through all of these, or just click got it. You get that little pop-up and you can close it and then you're back to here. So you know
Nice.
So now we know what to do. Tap on a house to view details. So now we will do that. We'll create that interaction.
This feels like a real, so far
Yeah?
when you click through it, it feels like a real experience.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always the fun part about prototyping is like kind of bringing those designs to life, and yeah, they feel more real than a lot of times.
And Roxanne, yeah, you can download XD for free. It's called the starter version. The only limitation to it is you can only publish one live prototype link at a time. Otherwise, you can use the entire program exactly the way that Evan's using it right now for free.
Which is super, super cool. Makes the barrier to entry nothing. Like it's so cool.
Yep. And then once you have it, you can tune into any of our programs, or you can check out some of the XD Daily Creative Challenges that kick off next week on Monday. And those will be a great way for you to kind of learn the tool and also learn some principles of solid design. And the daily challenge is just literally that. It's challenges that occur every day where we challenge you to create different types of experiences and share them with us so you can get feedback and improve.
Okay, so I just pulled this house, or what's representing the house, out of the group because I did have just everything in here. So just to be able to tap on it, gonna again just kind of scale it up a little bit just to give that user feedback, and then it'll show up purple, and then this will slide up and show the details of that house. So that's what we're working towards.
Cool. For this next page, are you going to use like an overlay of some sort? It looks like maybe there's components that are on top of each other.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll maybe try messing around with that. Select home. Purple.
Liam's curious what your background was before you started UX design.
Yeah, so I mentioned it a little bit, is that a lot of it was print related. So before where I work currently, I was at it was actually a manufacturing company, and I worked in-house as part of the design team. But a big part of it was exhibiting at trade shows. So most of my time, at least starting out, was designing the different trade shows, like the banners, the graphics. We printed them, then we had mailers that kind of like promoted us at a trade show. So we had a lot of different printed material. But the nice thing about the job that I had was that it gave me some flexibility to try other things at the same time. So at a certain point in trade shows, we started introducing video monitors, and then we needed some motion graphics for that, so I got to do some of that. So I played around with animation then a little bit, and then eventually we redesigned the website too. So we didn't have like so many departments that kind of focused on that. There's just kind of one creative department, and it started out as just me, and then hired a few others. So I got to touch a whole bunch of different things, which was awesome, because I got to just experience it and like figure out what it was like working in those different mediums. But the only thing is that it didn't necessarily let me focus on just one of those. And so that's where, once I got into the web stuff, a lot of time outside of work I spent just researching UI, UX things and kind of figuring out that that's really what I enjoyed doing. So reached out, like I said, to people online and talked to them, met Peter, went to Creative South, met a whole bunch of other awesome people. And that's really how I got into UI, UX and got to where I am now. And so even my current employer are people that I met at Creative South. So that's really quick. That was like over 8 years. But you know, it's just if you're willing to try different things and put yourself out there a little bit and invest in some of those passions, that it's totally possible. So.
Yeah, I think, your story is really inspirational, I think, for a lot of designers that want to get into a new space.
Yeah.
And it's certainly possible. Just have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Colby mentioned that he's going to be at the Creative Jam in Orlando tonight. That is awesome. Colby's a longtime viewer of ours and a good friend. And that's great to hear. I think Liz should be there. If you see Liz, tell her we say hi. And hopefully you win. That'd be awesome. Maybe you can share what you create as a project on Behance. Colby will also be at Creative South.
Oh, cool.
Colby, you should hit up Evan and Peter. Shauna is usually there, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I think Rocky goes.
Yeah, he's usually there. I'm trying to think who else would be there that has streamed.
I think Hibbo will be there.
Yep. Well, usually, anyways. I guess I don't know for sure, but she, usually is. Yeah.
So a lot of the designers and artists you've seen on Adobe Live, you probably can meet them there.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for sharing your stories, everyone. Please let us know what your design story is. I mean, we love to hear them. Babak was sort of the same scope of work right now, did programming to marketing in the past, and now he wants to switch to UX and UI design. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is just like trying to make those connections with people, and that sounds really hard a lot of times, but it's not nearly as hard as it actually is. Like just reaching out on, like I said, I just reached out to Peter on Twitter, and just kind of said, that I was inspired by his journey through a blog post that he posted, and then we just kind of kept in touch. And Creative South I would definitely recommend it just for making those connections and.
It seems like everybody that goes to that conference is just so like warm and welcoming.
Yeah, yeah.
They like want to be your friend.
Yeah.
I think that it must be a special experience.
Yeah, I mean, like the tagline is "Come as friends, leave as family," but like it maybe sounds like cheesy or cliche, but it really does feel that way because it's people you talk to all year online, and then you get to, it's like a reunion. You all get to get back to the conference, and yeah, it's just a really cool time.
That's great to hear. Well, I'm happy to hear you're going to be there, Colby, and if anyone else is going, you know who to look for. Say hi to Evan.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Shauna won't be at the Creative Jam, but her friends will be there. That's awesome. Chris Cannon will be at Creative South. I believe that's what he's speaking about.
Cool. Yeah, that's great to hear.
And Gina's transferring to UX as well from biology. And you know what's crazy about that, Gina, is your design won on day one. Your web page, homepage design, and it was so good. So you should definitely keep pushing in that direction and keep designing, because I think you have a lot of talent, and I can tell you put a lot of hard work into it. All right, man.
We're getting close.
How we doing?
We're doing good. I'm just trying to adjust the timing because it seemed like it went a little bit quick. Or slow, I mean, not quick. So when you click on it, yeah, that's better. Although, why does it? What did that do? It looked like... I wonder why it looks like it disappears there for a second.
Yeah, it does.
See that flash? Yeah. I wonder if I don't... Oh, I bet I know. Yep. So the problem is that I still have this as part of that group. Oh. So it's just like, it's not auto-animating because it's looking at it as two separate things.
Okay.
So if I bring this out of the group...
I think one of the morals of the story so far in doing this prototyping is always check what's in what group, right?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference.
Of some confusion here and there when you're trying to animate different components.
So now if we try, I think we should be, yeah, that's better.
Nice. And Mohammed, you should check out the Creative Jam website. They actually have a big map where you can look for Creative Jam events, for instance, in the Indy area. So I'm sure there's going to be one around there sometime soon, or at least I would imagine there is, so you can check that out on their website. And if one of our mods could put that link in chat, that would be awesome. Also, we have less than 6 minutes for you to share your portfolios with us. So it's not too late. You can share them. You'll have a chance to get a review live on stream. And if you don't, you can share it again in the next one and have another chance. Nice, we're getting to the screen that we couldn't tackle yesterday.
Right, yes. So I haven't actually messed with overlays too much. I'm just kind of assuming the way that it works. So, let's see. Oh, I just want to see if it works first. Well, that was a bad example. Let's start here. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Cool.
So we actually want this to slide up rather than just appear. So we're just going to make sure we name it. We'll just say, we'll just call this the detail.
Thank you for sharing the link, Adobe Live. You rock. Adobe Live right now is my esteemed colleague, Sam. You've seen her in chat before. Let's give some hype for Sam.
Okay.
The hype will come. I don't think they've heard me yet.
Oh, really?
We got Paco with Sam hype.
There we go. So it looks like...
Sam bot. She's here. Matthias is pumped. Also, thank you for helping out in the stream and moderating. Just a huge shout out actually in general to Matthias, to Val, to Tim. Kathleen's been here all week helping out and sharing links and giving feedback. I think it's like super cool.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it.
Definitely. So I think what I'm trying to do, I'm guessing you maybe can do it with an overlay, but because I haven't used overlays, I don't know the best way to do that. So I'm not going to use an overlay just because I think I have in my head a way to do it.
Cool.
And it's maybe not the most efficient, but I'm pretty sure it will work. So I'm just going to have a series of, so you tap this, it plays this, it gets big, then it gets small, and then I want this to slide up.
Nice.
So I'm just going to kind of duplicate this screen over. This will just be on a time delay, and then that thing will slide up.
Cool. I think that's should work, right?
I think so. I hope so.
We'll see once we play.
And this, I want to slide off screen.
Eric, there's no reason to feel bad. You are also here all of the time. And actually, same to everybody. I know I gave a shout out to all the moderators, but we have several, probably more than several viewers that have been in chat all week this week, learning and sort of giving advice and following different viewers and creating the community and generating friendships. And I think that's really special, and it's one of the magical parts about Adobe Live. So we appreciate you being here.
Okay, that's gonna be really quick though. Let's make this 0.6 just because it's got to travel a ways. All right, let's see if it works.
Like mad scientists.
Right? Click it. Oh, what did I do? I must not have Oh, I know why. Because this is not it's not technically part of the artboard.
That makes sense.
So now it is, which makes sense because I can't see it. So let's try it again.
Whoa.
That was a little slow initially, but I think I can adjust
it kind of did that same thing,
ease
kind of like
in.
Snap too, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, so I think I want to be, so the easing is like, if it eases in, it starts slow and then it speeds up, so it accelerates. But I just want it to come in at a constant speed.
Yep.
But then it can slow down once it gets to the top. So,
cool.
Well, actually, the transition from here to here should actually be an ease out.
Nice. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. We are still working on the Trick or Treat app, prototyping and animating some really cool experiences right now. If you have questions about what Evan's doing, please feel free to ask. We'll also be doing some portfolio reviews here in about 1 minute, so stick around for that.
Okay, cool. This I don't need. Let's take a look at all of it really quick. So we've got the main screen, and this is bothering me. I want to round the corners of these really quick, just a little. Okay, so we got the falling candy. We're on the splash screen. Click create account. What are you, a treater or a tricker?
I think I'm a tricker, but
sorry,
take that
it's not available right now.
I need to buy a house first.
So we'll click enter, and then the home kind of slides up. Then we've got the two fields that we would fill out. You can cancel to go back,
nice.
Or you can go to the next screen where we've got these that you can slide through. This one, you can't just stop on this one because I have it linked to that first artboard, so it's gonna slide everything back, which I think works okay, actually.
Yeah.
Did I have it? Yeah, and the breadcrumbs are all correct.
Cool.
Got it. We've got the little notification. Tap on a house to view details. We can dismiss it. And click on this house, and we've got the little slide.
Nice.
So.
I don't know about you out there, viewers, but I go ahead and give that a nice little clap. It's very nice.
Yeah.
And I think you employed some clever tricks with the animation, like the auto animate tool, to make it do things that you might not think of, like especially the falling candy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think, I think, just kind of playing around with it, seeing, what you can think of, and it's kind of fun just to play around with. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we might have a little more time after the portfolio reviews to work on the app a little more, but I just got word that our spaceship has been refueled. and we're ready to
We're taking off.
go to the space station.
Nice.
So we'll be right back, everybody.
Slow high five.
And then it like pushes me back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the portfolio review segment from Portfolio Review Space Station. It's been oxygenated. We've got the airlock on.
Yep.
We're good to go. So first up, we have, oh sorry, Paco, I messed up. I didn't have the portfolios up. I had one job, everyone. Our first portfolio we're going to review today is actually Kelsey Niehaus. I think it's Niehaus. It could be Niehaus. You can let us know in chat if I'm saying it right. Kelsey has been an Adobe Live viewer for quite a long time and is also a fantastic UX designer.
Cool.
So what we're going to do is just kind of give like an overview of the portfolio and then dive into some of her projects and let her know what we think.
Perfect.
I'm also going to kind of let you take the driver's seat because I don't have the experience.
No problem.
Cool. So first up, what I usually like to look at is kind of this section where it says like about me and focus, technical skills, and see like if they've linked their web pages, because I think this is something that a lot of potential clients or recruiters would look at to see whether or not you have the skill set that they're looking for. And so I like that you have a really sort of super clean and short about me.
Yeah.
Senior UX designer from Cape Town, South Africa. You list your technical skills right below it, and you've also linked your social accounts in case we're interested or curious to look at, for instance, your Instagram, which is really nice. Great job.
Cool. Cool to see a lot of work on there.
Yeah, super cool. So I think with that, let's dive into some projects. Does one stand out to you, or?
Let's go to that last one.
This one?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Cool. So actually looks like a lot of her projects, she's created projects for challenges that she's designed for Adobe Live challenges.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Cool. Nice and clean.
Social light. I actually remember this design, Kelsey. This was very nice.
Let's say design a mobile app with at least 3 artboards based on the theme social. Okay.
Yeah. Be sure to use the provided components, specifically a slider, hero image. So what we did is we asked them to create a mobile app, asked them to include some components, and then Kelsey just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And then created this beautiful project out of it.
Wow.
I think
excited to see this.
Anyone that's competed in the challenges this week, if you want to create a project for the designs that you've created, we would love to see them.
Yeah.
I typically will go and appreciate and leave comments on the Adobe Live account, so feel free to do that. Awesome. Maybe do you want to look on there? Yeah.
I'm not sure which is easier. We'll look at here for now. Okay. Yeah, scroll back up a second. I think this looks super clean. One thing I am curious about is it looks like the image and the, I don't know, the white border behind it goes beyond the mock-up. I don't know if that's on purpose to like highlight that, which it kind of looks like it is because it's over the nav on the bottom too. So the only thing I'd say is like maybe make that a little bit more clear that if that's your intention to like showcase that, I guess just maybe move it further off the mock-up just so that it's clear that that's the intention. But yeah, it looks super clean, good spacing. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I like that the mock-up it doesn't try to look too realistic.
Yep.
It's not like on a phone in someone's hand. It's
yeah, because a lot of times that can end up getting distracting and take away from. This is nice where it just kind of gives you that basis of what you're looking at. So
I also really like that you gave it context at the top. I think this can be said for almost every Behance portfolio is context is key.
Yeah.
And if we know what you created and why you created it while you're outlining your steps and process, it helps out the viewer immensely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely try to state the problem and the solution. Create, send, and receive events. Oh, cool.
So my idea for the Adobe XD live stream competition was to create an event planning app named Socialite. This fictional app would then sync all of your Facebook contacts and allow you to create, send, and receive custom events.
Oh, cool.
So she's got kind of her solution there, her features and use case.
That's great. I like that she's got a couple like broken out UI elements. So she's obviously thought about chat and what that would look like.
Nice, I like this a lot.
Oh, cool. Yep. Yeah, that's always good to see. See it more zoomed in up top, and then see like the whole scope of the project. You kind of get both parts.
Yeah, I think that this adds a nice element for process.
Yeah.
Super cool. Again, really clean design.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is something that is super cool and you don't see a lot, is like the time frame. How long did it take?
Oh, okay.
When did I create it?
Yeah.
Which I think is nice, because sometimes there's this where there's no context for the time frame, and also sometimes people don't specify what components they worked on.
Yeah.
It's a really large project.
Yeah.
And you don't know exactly what they're responsible for.
Yeah, that's definitely important to make sure that you're clear about what parts you touched and what parts you didn't, just to be honest and upfront with that. So
it's really neat too. She actually she linked the videos, so it says like you can view the development of the designs on YouTube, and it takes you to the stream where it was reviewed.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I really like that, because again, it provides more context for what the app was and what it was created for.
Yeah. I think this is interesting too. Like she's got like the mock-ups and the screens, but again, she uses like a few different like UI elements to just kind of break it up, make it a little bit more interesting, rather than just screen after screen after screen.
I've already commented on this, but great job. Super impressed. I also really like how it's designed to sync with Facebook, and it seems like it integrates really well into their design system.
Yeah.
I feel like from the text, like the type you used and even the color palette, it seems like, oh, this would work well with Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely tell that they're, they appear to be related. Very cool.
Wanna move to the next one real quick?
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Well, let's go to the most recent one, or whatever, yeah.
It looks like this is actually the last daily creative challenge. So what we do, I've talked about this a couple times, is there's 2-week events where we will give you a challenge a day, and you can create something and share it with a big community of designers that will give you feedback and help you improve as a designer. And it looks like Kelsey participated. This was published back in April of this year. And so this is probably her series of designs. Yeah,
this is super cool. I'm curious to know if you did the illustrations, or if you had help with that, because I know that's, I'm assuming that you maybe did, just because it was more of a challenge, but those illustrations are super cool.
Really clean. And I think it's probably going to be like this all the way through. So the first design was to create a fast food inspired illustration.
Oh, well.
Onboarding screens.
Then she definitely did do the illustration.
Yep.
I just didn't read it. Yeah, that's super cool. It's got some depth, different scale. It's super clean, didn't try to use too much color.
Nice.
Really nice.
I also really like the colors that you've selected for the layout of the project. It's really easy to digest, and they're broken up nicely into the specific days.
Yeah.
So this would be an animal icon using shapes.
Very nice. Yeah, that's super cool.
This is the illustration. No, this isn't. Maybe this was the illustrator. Oh, I see what you did, Kelsey. She did the illustration daily creative challenge, but then used the illustrations in UI and UX designs.
Cool. Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's really cool. Good way to expand your work.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice to see you taking a challenge that might not necessarily be directed right at the skill set that you want to work on, and kind of bending it to make it work for what you need it for.
Favorite sport?
Esports. Talking to the fellow gamer here. That's awesome. I love how simple they are.
Yeah.
I love your color choices.
The cool thing too is like the illustration styles are all different so far. Like the first one was more line based, second one was shapes, and I realize that some of that is based on the challenge, but it's cool that you've got so many, like the ability to do so many different styles too.
Yeah.
And do them really well.
Super impressive.
Yeah, this is all really cool stuff.
So she was designing a fruit using simple shapes, but then she folded that into a nutrition app. At least one screen design for it.
Great idea. Yeah, this is
Super
really
impressive.
good. Really, really cool.
Oh, that's so cool. So while we're on this topic, you should definitely check out the XD Daily Creative Challenge that starts on Monday next week. You can sign up for the Slack channel and get all the details for that. There'll be a link in chat pretty soon, I'm sure. Let's do one more really quickly because that was kind of like an illustration.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's try maybe Feast Finder. I don't know. You pick.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I feel like this kind of plays into what we did yesterday for the challenge.
Sure. Find food fast with Feast Finder. Cool.
I like the name. It's fun.
Yeah. One thing maybe with that one is I feel like the screen itself, it feels separated from the background, which, you know, I understand is part of the deal, but I think maybe like having that mock-up be colored yet, like just the outline of the phone, rather than an overlay of red might help it, you know, tie it together a little bit more. But
yeah, I
still
can see
super
that.
Cool.
You kind of lose the fact that it's a mock-up.
Yeah, you just kind of feel like they feel a little bit separated.
Again, awesome context. Like from top to bottom so far, it's been, I know what was created, what it was created for. You've outlined the challenge. So this is again another challenge from February where we asked you to design a navigation UI with at least 3 artboards, and we provided a template.
Yeah, man, this looks really good.
It's so clean. I like how you did the Feast Finder too. With you kind of broke it up into black type and then red type. I actually read somewhere that I think red is supposed to like be a hungry color.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. If you've ever heard that in chat, let us know. I think red is
that
supposed
would make
to
sense.
be like kind of
you see a lot of that in like restaurants, and then obviously Yelp, and
yeah,
a lot of those apps have that. So that would make sense.
Style guide. Cool.
So cool to see like a number of different screens.
Yep.
And just kind of see it all in context, that you didn't just design one screen, but you had to think about the whole workflow.
You laid out your icons here really well. Something that I would be curious to play with, I noticed in the last one too, is actually embedding a live prototype.
Yeah, that
might
would
be super
awesome.
cool, and it's something you can do just sharing a live prototype link from XD. You can then embed it in a Behance project, and that might be something you could put at the bottom. So if you make it all the way through the process, you can then actually play with the app.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, so
super impressive.
Yeah, these are like really nitpicky things. If you scroll back up, it's kind of the same comment with the hand on the phone. Like, it just looks kind of weird when it's an overlay of red. I think like just the hand itself you could remove the overlay from, and that might help. I think it's okay that it would cover up some of the, I think it's okay that it covers up some of the app, but I think like it would just help not feel so separated. But again, those are really nitpicky. This all looks super good.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. I think we're going to have to move to the next project because we don't want to run out of time. But overall, we're really impressed, Kelsey. And I know you've participated in a number of our challenges, and I think you never cease to amaze. So keep designing, keep sharing your designs on Behance.
Looks awesome,
we'll
Kelsey.
Continue to appreciate them. And thanks for being part of the community.
Cool. Yeah,
if you're watching,
awesome.
Please follow Kelsey on Behance. You can find her URL. It's behance.net/Kelsey Nieh2907. Check that out. All right, up next we have our good friend Munir. Munir has been here every day all week, and he's also a graphic and UI and UX designer.
Cool.
So again, we can kind of look at this. I think he has a nice, curious to know who I am. He has like a little flair in here.
Yeah.
Instead of it's just about me. And he starts it right off saying he's available for freelance and remote work at the moment. with his email address.
Very nice.
It's nice to know like where he stands and if he's available for work. And I think listing your work experience is also really nice. And you have your social networks linked. So
Cool.
I think that's great. And I also feel like the layout overall of your page looks nice too. I think you've selected some good thumbnails.
Yeah, looks like a good variety of work too.
Mm-hmm. And especially because you say you're a graphic and a UI UX designer, it'd be nice, something that I think would be cool is if you were to group up your UI and UX projects into one area and then all your graphic design projects into another area so that they're not like mixed in with one another.
Yeah.
And you could just order them chronologically by the date they were created. But yeah, let's jump into some design.
Yeah, let's do, actually I'm curious on that, does it say Space Airlines ticket?
This one, I was hovering over it?
That or the one to the right, either way.
This one, let's do this.
Sure.
Cool, so this is just one artboard. This was actually a challenge for Adobe. We came up with this concept for like Utopia, and we wanted people to create different branding assets over the week. And one of the challenges was to create the ticket that would get you from one place to Utopia, which was this planet you needed to go to.
Nice.
So actually, you can see Kathleen's name here.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I think this looks really good. It looks really clean. I think one thing that maybe you could try to do is play with the weights on your fonts a little bit more, just to create a little bit more hierarchy between the titles and the actual information there. I see that you do that a little bit already with the colors, but I think maybe playing with the weights a little bit more would be a good idea. And I think the one other thing that you can do a lot of times with text is rather than making it black, make it like a dark gray. It just kind of ends up being a little bit softer and easier on the eyes that way. And then plus you get a little bit more of that contrast between the title and the text. But it looks super, super good. I like the layout, and the little punch circles at the bottom is cool.
Yep, I like that too.
That's a good idea.
I feel like without them, I might not know it was a ticket right away.
Yeah,
but because I can.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Very cool design. All right, we'll pick, let's try to pick an app or like a web design or something.
Yeah. How about the daily UI challenge?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look. Okay, daily UI challenge is a great way to become a better designer by giving you opportunity to flex your creativity without any limitations. Cool. So he says it was fun, it helped him improve, kind of gave some context for why this project exists.
Sure.
Awesome. So the day one challenge was to create a sign-up experience.
Cool. Yeah, I think that looks. I think it looks really good. It's simple. It's clean. You didn't try to do too much. A couple of comments would maybe just be the button on sign up. The corners are really rounded, almost to the point where you're not sure if it's, it's kind of that in between, like a pill and a rectangle. So I feel like I'd maybe either go one way or the other, just so that it's a little bit more clear. But yeah, I think it looks really good. You could maybe, again, this is nitpicky, but just kind of give a little bit more breathing room between the icon and the text in those fields. So the little mail icon and the lock icon next to the password, I think there could be a little bit more space between those. But yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Simple and clean. I like it.
I like it too. I think those are really good points, and I think something that we all can work at all the time is like making sure that the designs we create follow like good design principles, and it takes critique and review to make sure that all those things are pulled out. Yeah,
definitely. And I feel like I can tell already a lot between this one and the previous project. Just one, the presentation, and two, just like your vertical spacing and spacing in general, it feels a lot more cleaned up on this one. Like this looks really, really good. It's always fun if you can pair your UI with an actual photo that you've got cut out, the headphones. It just kind of helps break it up so that it's not so flat. And you've got the soft shadows to separate the two. It looks really, really clean, really well done.
Yeah, it's nice to see progress even between challenge 1 and challenge 2.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to keep working down too. We've got a landing page. This is also for Beats. And I think this is a web page, like a web landing page.
Yeah, this is really cool. I think it's interesting the way that you laid it out. It's not typical, which I don't think is a bad thing. The only thing I'd maybe say is that all of the text and the button is blue. I think changing that up a little bit could add, again, a little bit more hierarchy and contrast, and plus just bring attention to the CTA, the button, rather than kind of them all feeling even. So, but
yeah, that's a great call. And I think that, again, comes back to, like, just design decisions.
Yep.
But overall, I think it's clearly presented. All right, we'll only look at, like, probably one more because
sure,
we're running out of time.
Yeah, no problem.
This is a calculator, which is
I think
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think calculators are always, like, an interesting thing to try to design because, like, they seem really simple, but, like, they're different than most things. So, and plus you've kind of got a little bit of a structure figured out, like, just due to conventions. It looks really, really good. I think, again, just playing with the contrast between, like, the 5.670 and then the 378 times 15. I think there could maybe even be a little bit more contrast between the scaling, just the size there, just again for hierarchy purposes. But yeah, all in all, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like you've also followed sort of the same color palette throughout the challenge, which makes the entire project seem more cohesive. And I think that was really nice for forethought, like foresight, knowing, okay, I'm going to put this on one project and it needs to look nice. So overall, great job.
Yeah, very cool.
If you're watching and you like Munir's work and you don't already follow him, please hit him up on Behance. This is the URL. You can also click on his name in chat. And just to give a quick thanks and shout out to everyone who shared their portfolios with us. I think it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of, like, it's scary. It's scary.
You're vulnerable, putting yourself out there, but I think you have to be to continue to improve and get feedback. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
So thanks for doing it, and we'll be doing 2 more portfolio reviews in the next stream with Mike and Howard. They'll be up next. Something that's really cool they'll be working on is actually a voice app for Alexa. As far as I know, this is one of the first times that this has been done on a live stream, so you'll want to stick around for that. But before we go, let's go ahead and jump back to Evan's designs and take one more look at what he created today and kind of work through the prototype.
Yeah. So we'll just start at the beginning. Again, we did Falling Candy just by having those 2 artboards and just simply changing the positioning and then having that loop. You click Create Account, and then we've got these 2 buttons and played with artboards that are just transitioned by time to kind of create that bounce for these 2 buttons. And disabled this one just by simply changing the color on the screen. And then when you click enter, this house will move up just to kind of let you know that you're there. Again, that was super simple, like changing the layer name and then just setting it to auto animate. Have these to drag through. The breadcrumbs change. You can cancel or go back. And I didn't link this button, but we should.
We'll get to that.
So if you click next, then you've got your onboarding screen where you can kind of slide through these cards. Got it. And then you got a little pop-up that says what to do. You can dismiss it. I don't have all these other houses, but we just did the one for now, just kind of show how it works. Pops up and that drawer slides up. So
super cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really clean design. And it's been really fun watching your process from wireframe to design to prototyping this week.
Yeah, it's been fun to do.
Yeah, you've done a great job.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, and it's fun to, you said Halloween theme, kind of get everyone's input and feedback and just kind of think about what that was like.
That was great meeting everyone here that's joined us every day, all week. If you are just meeting Evan for the first time or you've been with us all week, please check him out. All of his social channels are just /EvanPlace. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram and Dribble and hopefully Behance soon.
Yes, it will be.
And I imagine at some point he'll make a project out of what he created this week.
Yep.
And you'll be able actually to go in and see what the finished product looks like and maybe play with the prototype.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Super grateful and had a lot of fun doing it. So
good. We're glad. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. Up next, we have Howard Pinsky and Mike Kotchenberger. Mike Kotchenberger.
He'll tell you how to pronounce it when he's on.
I messed it up. Yeah, stick around and you'll learn how to pronounce it. Thank you for being with us and have a great day. Thanks.
See you guys.